I just first wanted to ask your opinion as someone who is literally at the tip of the spear on this issue, something that we've all heard so much about, and you think about this and work on this every day. Is it your opinion that the impact that this law has had on small businesses, the issue that we're talking about today, is this an unintended consequence of the law that was passed, or is this what we were trying to achieve in passing the law?
I cannot for a moment believe that Congress intended to make billions of dollars worth of products that were sitting on store shelves, sitting in warehouses, on container ships, illegal, even though nobody is alleging that they are unsafe. The biggest problem, I think, for small retailers and for resellers of products is the retroactive effect of the law that sweeps into its effect products that were manufactured well before the effective date and were manufactured to meet the laws as they existed on that point.
And we believe that the law specifically gives the Commission the authority to exclude products from the lead limits that clearly do not pose lead ingestion risks. So do you agree with that? And if so, why hasn't the Commission taken specific action to exclude more products?
I wish that the law did give us that flexibility. I think that flexibility is needed. Unfortunately, the law was written in a very deliberate way to not give us that flexibility. We brought this to the attention of committee staff during the conference drafting process, and were told very specifically that that flexibility was not intended. The way the law is written, we do not have the flexibility to exclude many products that our health scientists really feel do not pose a risk of injury, but which may have lead above the 300 parts per million content level.
The small businesses, as we all know, bear a disproportionate share of federal regulatory burdens to begin with before discussing this law. And they don't have the compliance resources of their larger counterparts. And I was wanting your opinion, Chairwoman, on this law. Is it placing small businesses at a disadvantage compared to their larger competitors? And if so, is the Commission doing anything to level the playing field given what you have to work with the letter of the law?
Well, I do think that this law is putting small businesses at a disadvantage. I have had informal conversations with many, many companies around the country. I do hear from large businesses that they are changing their ways to try to accommodate the law. I'm hearing from large retailers that they are sending back product early to make sure that everything on store shelves complies with the law. So the bigger companies are working to accommodate themselves to the law, but there are some things in the law that have a particularly adverse impact to small businesses. The retroactivity provision that I just mentioned, the fact that we cannot really do risk assessments and tailor our regulatory approaches to look at real risks, I think that impacts small businesses as well. There are a number of other things that are set out in my written testimony, but yes, I do think that we need to figure out a way to make sure that this law fulfills its objective to help consumers without undue adverse impact on small businesses.
Thank you. I will now turn over to Ms. Fallon.